just getting old, huh?
Yep.
You sleep till 6:30? No, you're burning daylight, bro. Crazy dogs of mine won't let me sleep late.
At 7 o'clock, call to order the regular meeting here at the City Council of Ranch Pass, Texas, here at City Hall, 600 West Cleveland Boulevard, on August 17, 2015. Please rise for the invocation, please. Lord, I'd like to give you thanks for another beautiful day. We ask you for your guidance as we make our decisions tonight for our community. We ask you to bless all our public works people, everybody that works so hard to make this community go through. We ask you to bless the children that are getting ready to start their school year again. We ask for your guidance, Lord, and understanding to help us move forward and progress here for our community, and let us have peace. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This is going to bring us to item number 3, presentations and proclamations. Presentation by Dr. Christine Shepard of the Nature Conservancy. She won't make it? All right, then that's going to move us to item number 5, our citizen comments. Please state your name, and your business, and your address, and you have 3 minutes to do so. The floor is now open for our citizen comments.
My name is Robert Fanning, 1540 South County Ranch Pass. Okay, I talk loudly, probably can hear me anyway without this thing. Just want to get y'all updated on the renovation of the cassette stand. 90% of it's already been completed. We've just been having problems with some, getting supplies and so forth. I won't be able to work on it for another couple of weeks now. I'm going out of town for 2 weeks. My other contractor, he's leaving. It's been prolonged a little bit longer than we expected. I wanted to ask y'all today if I can maybe get reimbursed some of the money towards my labor on the jobs that have been completed. So that way it doesn't prolong for another 2 weeks till we finally get all the supplies we need. There's some stuff that we ain't able to get, so I want to see what y'all can do to go and reimburse me for some of the jobs that we've already completed on this.
Do you have an itemized bill, or how you work?
No, it's just each job is right here selected on like how much it costs for the interior, exterior painting. That's been completed. The rotting wood has been completed. All the lighting has been completed. The bathrooms have been painted. The urinals and the toilets have not been. We have to order that, and right now there's some issues with the funding of getting the materials, but I'm sure they'll take care of it. But that's been a little bit longer than we expected to. So I just want to, I can go through the list here and I can give it to Sylvia, but I just want to get with y'all first to see if I can get this approved, and then
Well,
we
we
can.
can't approve anything. It has
It's on the agenda.
Yeah. This is just citizens.
Okay, well, I didn't know,
Okay.
I just wanted to get y'all up to this. So when can I do this? Is it going to be another month or for another meeting?
You have to submit a request for reimbursement, to go out and do the inspection.
Okay.
Your record has been completed, and then you get paid.
Okay.
We've already approved the contract, so payment is just a matter of the normal cycle. We've got to inspect what was completed.
Okay,
that is
yeah,
completed.
when can we do that? Because I'm leaving on Wednesday for 2 weeks, and then the other contractor left. He's gone for a few weeks too, because it's been prolonged a little bit, so.
As soon as possible, Roland, like I told you before, 48 hours notice is usually very short. We'll try to get to you tomorrow. I don't know what the inspection staff looks like.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to get with Miguel and Dale to go out and do the inspection.
Yeah, if you would, please. I can get some of this stuff taken care of while I'm gone for 2 weeks.
And then
Appreciate it.
we'll need your receipts and your itemization of items.
Well, y'all
paid.
pretty
So
much
we-
paid for all the material. I have some receipts, but not very, it's
We
mostly
need your
city.
receipts for reimbursement.
Oh, you're talking about for the labor
For
costs?
labor.
Okay. Okay.
Miguel.
Thank you, Roland. Is there anybody else who'd like to say anything?
My name is Stephen Warren, 617 North Houston. I missed the last city council meeting, but I read the notes and stuff on it. It said something about my AP was supposed to help get the city cleaned up and get the lots mowed, and and it was going to be in different sections. I was under the impression a month ago when we were at city council that the city manager had hired somebody, contracted with somebody to get these lots mowed. The one out Prior and North Houston is still not mowed. It's creating problems with varmints, possums, skunks. I don't know what else is coming out of there. They're coming over across the street into my yard, and we need to get it mowed. I mean, we've been messing with this for way too long.
You said 619, right?
Could be, yeah, could be. It's one right on the corner of Prior and Houston, and we just need to get it mowed. I appreciate you guys' help if we could get that done.
All right.
And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warren.
I'll remind the council that you approved the municipal code ordinance change last time on the fix-it ticket, so we'll have to issue citation first and
Follow
then
the
wait the
procedure.
required period, and things don't just,
Get it mowed tomorrow.
I was under the impression that that lot had already been approved for the tax abatement and everything else from what the city manager had told us 2 months ago. So I don't know where this is coming from now.
Okay. Ms. J.
My name is Jay Masterson. I live at 120 Misty Lane. I have been in the city as a taxpayer for 37 years, and there were two items. One was that the renewal program of keeping everything cleaned up is deeply appreciated. One of the difficulties that many of us have is we do not want to make enemies in our neighborhoods, so it's very hard for us to complain when we see somebody with not just 10 inches kids, we're talking, waist high. And so I feel that there needs to be an outreach to the people who are the out of state and out of area residents, so that they understand not just a copy of the ordinance, but that there is this effort to try to improve their property values by having everybody keep their things up. I know you have a year-long plan. I'm hoping that includes dealing with so many of the people who are out of the area. I have 29 houses in my little Highland subdivision. At least 40% of those people don't live there. And so they only there on the weekends or once or twice a month. And so it would be really helpful if your program included that outreach. The other thing is that I know that y'all have a lot on your plate, but I did read the new forms for how you get a permit, and I still don't see one for renovations or for remodeling. I see one for new construction for both residents and commercial, but it would be real helpful to me to see how those of us who have older properties or are trying to renovate rental properties, that we'd be able to have perhaps less of a requirement because we've already been approved once, and that we already have a certificate of occupancy, so that perhaps we then could get a little bit of relief on the daunting list. I mean, it's quite overwhelming, quite frankly. But thank you very much for your time. Appreciate you, and I appreciate the progress we're making.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
we'll make sure we get that. There's your guy right there. We'll make sure we get that to you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Michael Dallas. I have property on the West Myrtle Avenue, north area of the Aransas Pass. This issue is in regards to the oversized drainage ditch on this avenue. Okay? Right now, today, you have 4, 5, 6 foot growth, weeds, you name it, growing in this. All right? I have called. I have sent a complaint online. I have asked. To date, nothing whatsoever. Your city leadership ignores this problem. So I'd like to tell you just right up front, okay? What you have created is a new dumping area. All right? That's what they're doing out there now. Overnight, during the daytime, okay? I've run them off. Old tires, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So thank you.
Thank you. So what
Thank
can we
you.
do to take that care of that?
Well, I mean,
I know he has trouble with the road, but the ditch itself.
well, I need to see if it's Aransas County ditch or San Patricio. We're working on our San Patricio side of the ditches, but
Fernando?
I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, I remember a couple of meetings ago, we got an approval for the county to go clean it. We're negotiating with them on what they're gonna start, because they're getting agreed that they're gonna go clean it. We're just trying to coordinate how we're gonna take the trash out and they're gonna go under and rework the ditch. But it's already been approved through council and we're negotiating right now with the county.
So time period,
Yeah, as soon as I get a time frame from them, I'll forward it to you.
all right. Is there anybody else who'd like to say anything? Okay, then that closes our citizen comments. We're gonna move on to item number 6, the consent agenda. All the following items of the consent agenda considered to be routine by the city council will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member so requests. If the discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. We have items A, B, C, and D. E and F also.
Mayor, on item B, that there's one change that needs to be made in that. The way it reads now is that, as you discussed, that vapor cigarettes were to be permitted in the civic center. But it reads that smoking of tobacco is also permitted, so that needs to be changed, but you can go ahead and approve it with that.
Correction.
With that, yeah, that correction. So,
Well, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda with changes on ordinance 2015-4114, vapor cigarettes only in the Civic Center and not tobacco products. Is that correct?
correct.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This is going to bring us to item number 7, consider an act on city manager items, which item A, we rescheduling the Monday, September 7, 2015 city council meeting due to city holiday.
So the council needs to schedule the meeting either September the 8th or Monday, September the 14th. I would just about beg the council that we keep the September 8th deadline in order to meet our operating budget. There are some special hearings that need to be called that I'm going to bring up the calendar here in just.
I make a motion that we reschedule the September 7th city council meeting to September 8th, 2015 at 7 o'clock here at City Hall.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. One less right here.
Let's move to 7B, consider an act and resolution in support of the Saws Bed and Banks application.
If you recall, SAWS did the presentation to TML. It is using the river as a pipeline for discharge of effluents, 50,000 acre feet basically, that reaches our saltwater barrier and protects our tourism economy, protects our oyster reefs and things, keeps the salinity levels in the bay at a healthy level. So there is a court item that is making its way to the Supreme Court. We would be a friends of SAWS at some particular point in time. All of our neighboring cities, Rockport, Aransas, Nav District, have provided letters of support as well.
What's the favor of the council on item 7B?
I'll make a motion, we approve the resolution in support of the Saws Bed and Banks application.
Second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This brings us to item 7C, consider an act on LJA additional funding request.
Mayor and council, as you know, we keep our engineering contracts very close. There's a number of items that are being worked on at this particular point in time that require additional funding. It is a pay-as-you-go contract. So we're asking the council for additional monies to complete some of those projects and bring those deliverables to a close.
And it's like 4, 5, 6,
Multiple. There is,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
there's over
Okay.
18, there's over 18 items.
Okay.
And this is only one firm.
What is the fair of the council on item 7C?
Well, I make a motion that we approve the funding to LJA request not to exceed $75,000.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This brings us to item 7D. Consider an act on forgiving penalty and interest of non-tax resale property on account 0011-0261-0014-000, lot 14, 261 block. What's that, sir?
This is a property that originally had a city lien on it. It has increased from $525 to $44.67. It's questionable as to whether that lien is even enforceable. It's more than 10 years old. Mr. Irick brought the property not aware of the lien until the last minute at closing, so he'd like us to forgive all but the $525 that was the original assessment amount.
Where is this property? I'm just,
You know, I have no idea.
is it
Eighth
8th
Street.
Street?
I'm sorry, counsel, this was not my item.
Are you going to build a house there, or what do you plan on?
Yes, there's several lots down through there. I believe this lot here is in the one that we issued.
Okay.
So let it go.
Well, I make a motion that we forgive the penalty and interest on the tax resale property. I guess, and bring it to the original lien of $525.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let's get on to item 7E. Consider an act appointing the ad hoc charter review committee.
Mayor and council, the Charter Revision Committee is required by the charter, and we missed our 2014 appointment. So what we're asking at the request of several council members is the ability to create an ad hoc committee. You guys would appoint to that committee, and it would have to go on the November next year election. The committee has to meet for a year, and then we'd pick up right after that to be able to get back on track on the 2017 calendar. I'm sorry, 2018.
2018.
So is this just allowing us to appoint someone
Yes.
to this committee?
Allowing you to appoint somebody and have them review the charter, suggest any changes. Those changes would go on the November ballot
Okay.
of next year, November 2016.
We hear a motion for approval for item 7E.
Well, I make a motion that we approve appointing of the ad hoc charter review committee.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 This brings us to item 10. Consider an act on setting the dates for budget public hearings.
Mayor and council, the code is pretty specific as to when the tax rate needs to be set. You're going to see that item in the newspaper. I think I've given everybody an indication of where our effective rate ended up. And we are going to bite the bullet and proceed with keeping the tax rate level as is, as opposed to a rollback. That requires some special meetings for the budget. That would require a public hearing on August 27th, which is a Thursday, the second public hearing on the 31st. That would drive us to the operating budget on September the 8th and September the 14th. And if we couldn't agree on the 14th, that still leaves us the following 2 more Mondays in September to be able to get the budget adopted before our October 1 deadline. So I'm in essence asking you for 3 special dates: August 27th, August 31st, and September 14th.
Do I hear a motion for approval for item 10A?
Well, I make a motion that we approve the setting of the dates for the budget public hearings, and that was August 17th,
August 27th,
oh, August 27th,
August 31st,
August 31st,
September the 8th, which is a normal council meeting.
And September
And
the 8th.
September 14th.
And September 14th of 2015.
Correct.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That brings us to item number 11. Eric, it's all yours.
Thank you, council. I'd like to stand up for this one first. We have some special folks in the audience this evening. This is our Explorers group, and I'll call them up here momentarily, but they've been working very, very hard. They've got a couple great instructors. Actually, I think 3 of them, 2 of them are here tonight. Eddie with the school district and Corporal J.D. Hinojosa with the police department, been working diligently with them. They've had experience with several of the officers as well, in riding out with some of the officers and experiencing firsthand some of the realities of law enforcement in the field. But this particular group, 4 of them went to the CCPD Explorers Academy this year. They were invited, they participated and did an exceptional job during the academy. They then followed up with a competition thereafter, and they did outstanding. I believe they placed second on one of the items and first and third on a couple of items, and that was a competition with. We had one team there with this group, and there were over 40 teams from. There you go, 45 teams all together across the state. So they did an exceptional job, and I'd like to recognize them this evening. First off, if I could get the 2 instructors, Mr. Eddie Garcia and Corporal Hinojosa, come up here. You can help me and welcome you. Appreciate them. Start with Hilario Morales. Come on up. Has certificates of recognition. You can just stay up here, we'll get a photograph. Cassandra Rivera. Justin Koner. Julissa Hinojosa, a.k.a. Little Bird. James Hill. Okay, and Jacob Cohen participate this time around, but he's one of our explorers as well. He's working that. The other 2, Kaylin Burciaga and James Hale. I guess they could not make it this evening, but they as well were recognized. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Great job.
Eric, give that mic back.
Okay, Eric, this will bring you to item B from 11.
This is the last item, just police department updates for July 2015. Calls of service going back up. It seemed like the month was kind of leveling off back to where we kind of are accustomed to being. Traffic stops went up remarkably, citations, as you can see that. Okay, so total calls for service 2568. Total traffic stops 653. Citations 244. Violations from the citations 328. Crash reports, we had 20. Arrests 55. Juvenile detentions 2. Code enforcement actions, that was up to 53 over 17 for last month. highlights, as you see, the Explorers had their big event. We had a mock evacuation drill for emergency management out at the Civic Center, where we actually activated the buses and we worked with the school to kind of get a good feel and working perspective. That went very well, and we also found some good insight on how to make it even better. Online campaigns are continuing. Emergency management's really been hitting it hard. If you follow us online, putting out a lot of information and touching on some topics that seem to interest the community. Of course, 4th of July was great during that event. Trash take back, that went well from a staff perspective. However, on our event that we hold, the turnout was a little low. We hope we can spruce that up for the next event, which is coming up soon. And another thing I just want to highlight tonight is found property. We publish a lot of our found property online before disposing of it. And we do get responses, people finding their property that we've found, and try to get back to them. But any attention we can give to that, we're hoping would improve getting this found property back to folks when they lose it. Other than that, during the month, no major events or anything really to announce. Other than that.
Good deal. That brings us to 11A EMS. Consider an act on CPA agreement with DRC Emergency Service for disaster debris removal services.
Mayor and Council, this is entering into an agreement with a debris removal company in terms of natural disasters, hurricanes, tornadoes, the like. It's the same company used by Port Aransas and other cities in our vicinity, so we would just piggyback onto that contract. Most of that is FEMA reimbursable, but we do have to have at least something in place in the event of an emergency.
Starts right now if it passes?
It would, yes, sir.
Yeah, I am familiar. I'm sorry, it said EMS, but I couldn't pronounce it, EMC. But yeah, with Port Aransas right now is using that service, and basically the terms of that agreement are identical to the terms in place for Port Aransas for debris removal. I was also informed that this was kind of a difficult thing to get. We're having a very hard time getting anybody that has the capability of handling such large service, because people are just, or groups are not interested in that service. So we're kind of having to go with this company that is pretty much the primary one that will step up to the plate if we have a huge disaster debris every year.
Yeah, on this right here, is that just where, did they haul it off, or did they just haul it to our land?
They cannot haul it to our landfill.
Okay, so it has to get removed.
It has to go away.
So
We have
part
no-
of this agreement is for them to take it away?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And probably mulch it on site, do
Okay.
something, because we can't, we don't have any room at our spot.
Okay. Well, I make a motion that we approve the CPA agreement with DRC Emergency Services for disaster debris removal services.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This brings us to item 13. Mr. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mayor. That, I declare a public hearing open for purposes of discussing creation of a harbor overlay zoning district. Sylvia, you want to address this, please?
I'll let Mr. Saldana address it.
Okay.
You look so nice, you can't go to waste.
Mayor, Council, this is the creation of a harbor overlay district for the Conbron Harbor, where they're going to, we're proposal for development of that area. This is a project that we've been working on for several months, and this is a culmination of all those work and proposed development for that area. The Planning Commission did review this last week, and they are recommending approval of the creation with some modifications to the prohibited uses, which the agenda memorandum was changed, or the use list was changed and corrected per the Planning Commission's recommendation. So staff and the Plan Zoning Commission did recommend approval.
They did recommend approval, sir?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you just for clarification, the last item on item 13 is a public hearing to change the zoning in the harbor from heavy industrial to general business. This coincides with that, does it not? And essentially provides what type of businesses can go in what areas and those type of things in general business?
No, this is, the general businesses, district uses does not change. It's only in the overlay district. So the zoning change will be from the heavy industrial to a general business district with the harbor overlay district. And the harbor overlay district will control the uses in the general business
Well,
district.
that's essentially what I meant.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Al.
Okay. Any questions of the council? Any members of the audience have any questions?
If I would, just to clarify, because I know it's like speaking a different language. It's basically if you take an old transparency over something, and this has some markups, old vellum if you're an architect, the underlying district will be the general business district with some uses that are removed and the overlay above it to match what's in that master development agreement, to keep the architectural review committee and all of those items that we promised the residents we were going to keep.
Anything further? If not, then I declare the public hearing closed.
And then we have to do 13B, Mr. Warren?
Yes.
Do we need to act on that?
Yeah, 13B for action.
No, it says
A.
13B is another public hearing.
Right.
No, well, there's an item right, under A,
Yeah.
is also you're considering that.
Right, that's what
Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Well, I make a motion, we approve the ordinance creating the harbor overlay zoning district.
Second the motion?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 13B is a public hearing on amending the use of item 217, warehouse or enclosed storage, as an allowed use in the general business use tables.
Mayor and council, if you recall, that use was removed. Oh, I'm sorry. The use was removed along some of our beautification corridors, and after talking to the planning commission and several businesses, we think we can reach an agreement as long as it's all indoor storage. They have to meet the landscaping and the screening and the lighting ordinance anyway, which would protect the visual screening. As long as it's indoor storage, everybody feels like they can live with that.
Any
Yes, planning
questions?
commission recommended.
Now, is this in the harbor district?
No,
No,
this is in the
this is-
general business,
okay.
in any general business designation.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions or comments by the council? Anyone in the audience have any comments? If not, then this public hearing is closed.
So this brings us to ordinance, consider and act on ordinance amending use of number 217 warehouse enclosed storage as an allowed use in the general business use of tables. What is the favor of the council on this?
Well, I make a motion that we approve the warehouse or enclosed storage allowed in the general business use tables.
Second?
All fair say aye.
Aye.
Okay, excuse me. Item 13C is a public hearing on rezoning from heavy industrial to general business in the Harbor District overlay. This is what you did previously, in item A, you approved the Harbor Overlay Zoning District.
Now you would approve the base zoning to general
Right.
business.
Now you're approving the rezoning of that area to general business. Any questions? Any questions of the audience? If not, then the public hearing is closed.
It brings to ordinance, consider and act on ordinance for granting the change of zoning from the heavy industrial district to general business district with the harbor overlay district. What is the favor of the council on that?
Well, I make a motion that we approve the granting and changing from the heavy industrial district to general business district with the Harbor Overlay District.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm not going to make you repeat that, Phil.
Thank God.
Item 14, Sylvia, City Manager.
Well, I don't know that you guys even understand what you just did before, but it was a historic event for moving forward. And that
Change
puts
landscape.
that puts us that much closer to get where we're going.
That's the footprint.
It is.
Shovels in the ground.
Yes. I'm getting the gold shovels. Pool hours, we will, if you recall, council approved a pool renovation. They did a non-slip surface in the bathrooms that is not working well. It's actually attracting dirt and reacting with the spray-on sunscreen. So they're going to come in and take all of that out and redo it at no cost to us. So the pool will be closed the last couple of days in the month of August. We are finalizing my AP, the map. The very rough map is over by Mary. We can share that with the council and the public as soon as it's pretty enough for publication. I am working with staff and making sure that we can meet the one-year goal of cleaning up the entire area of the city. And the council's approval of those fix-it-ticket type ordinance gets us that much further. And then moving further with the senior center, the consolidation with the county, making sure that the seniors aren't affected. I've met with them at the senior center as well as the county. They made very clear they have no intention of moving and don't want to move, and so we're going to do what we can do to accommodate them, and it seems like we're going to be able to save some money and also accommodate the wishes, less the lottery, less the bingo for money lottery commission issue. And I believe, and also the council has your TML packets. Please get those back to us. Let me know which session you would like to be attending in order to get you scheduled. That's, I believe, what I have today. Work continues on the budget. We're almost there.
This is going to bring us to item 16, our executive session. City Council may recess in executive session to discuss the following items pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, which would be item A, 551.071, consultation with the attorney, deliberation of council and city employee or employees at 7:33 p.m. Thank you to everybody that came out this evening. If you don't stay, hope you have a good evening. If you do stay, hopefully it won't be too long.
Don't you see what I'm talking about?